The sun was setting, the forest was quiet. A man named Jack was hiking through the trees. He was lost. Jack had been walking for hours. He was tired and thirsty. Suddenly, he saw something strange. A bright glimmer appeared between the trees. What could it be? Curiosity filled him. He walked faster, pushing through the branches. He stopped. Right before him was a plane. It was an old plane, almost swallowed by the forest. Trees grew around it, vines covered its wings. The metal was rusty and old. The plane looked like it had been there for many years. How did it get here? Why was it abandoned? Jack felt a chill run down his spine. He walked slowly towards the plane. It looked like a giant metal bird that had fallen from the sky. He touched the cold metal. It felt rough under his hand. He peered inside a window. The glass was dusty, but he could see shadows. What would he find inside? He took a deep breath and opened the plane door. The inside of the plane was dark and musty. Dust covered everything. The seats were ripped and torn. Papers were scattered on the floor. Jack stepped inside carefully. The air was thick and heavy. He felt like he was walking into the past. What happened here? He could almost hear whispers in the silence. He looked around the cockpit. The pilot's seat was empty. The controls were covered in dust. Jack saw a leather bag on the floor. He picked it up and opened it. Inside he found a logbook, a compass, and a faded photograph. The photograph showed a young man in a pilot's uniform. Was this the pilot? Who was he? Section 6. Signs of Life. He opened the logbook. The last entry was dated many years ago. The pilot had written about bad weather and engine trouble. He had to make an emergency landing. Jack's heart pounded. Was the pilot okay? Did he survive the crash? He hoped so. He continued searching the plane for clues. Section 7. The Mystery Deepens. As Jack ventured deeper into the forest, the sight of the abandoned airplane loomed larger. The wreckage, now overgrown with vines and moss, seemed almost like a relic from another time. The eerie silence of the forest was only broken by the occasional rustle of leaves and distant calls of birds. Jack's heart raced with a mix of anticipation and dread. He found more things in the plane. The interior of the airplane was a chaotic mess, with seats torn apart and luggage strewn everywhere. Jack carefully navigated through the narrow aisles, his flashlight casting long shadows on the walls. Every step he took echoed through the hollow fuselage, amplifying the sense of isolation. He couldn't shake off the feeling that he was being watched. There was a map with a route marked on it. The map was old and tattered, with edges frayed and yellowed with age. The route marked on it seemed to lead to a remote location, far from any known settlements. Jack wondered what the purpose of this journey was and why it ended in such a tragic manner. The map hinted at secrets long buried, waiting to be uncovered. There was a box filled with tools and spare parts. The tools were rusted and worn, but they spoke of a time when this airplane was a marvel of engineering. Jack picked up a wrench, feeling the weight of history in his hands. The spare parts, though covered in dust, were meticulously organized, suggesting that someone had taken great care in maintaining the aircraft. But who, and why? There was even a half-eaten sandwich in a bag. The sandwich, now moldy and decayed, was a stark reminder of the suddenness of the abandonment. It was as if the occupants had left in a hurry, leaving behind their belongings and unfinished meals. Jack couldn't help but imagine the last moments of those who were on board. What had caused them to flee so abruptly? But there was no sign of the pilot. Where did he go? What happened to him? The mystery deepened. The cockpit was eerily empty, with the controls covered in dust and cobwebs. Jack examined the instruments, trying to piece together the final moments of the flight. The absence of the pilot raised more questions than answers. Had he survived the crash? Or had he met a different fate altogether? Jack felt a mix of excitement and fear. The thrill of discovery was tempered by the ominous atmosphere of the wreckage. Every clue he found only added to the enigma, making him more determined to uncover the truth. As he stood in the middle of the abandoned airplane, Jack knew that this was just the beginning of a much larger adventure. The mystery was far from over, and he was ready to face whatever lay ahead. Section 8. Lingering Questions. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over the abandoned airplane. The sky was a canvas of oranges and purples, a perfect backdrop for the scene that was unfolding. Jack knew he had to leave. The decision weighed heavily on him, but it was inevitable. He had spent hours exploring the old aircraft, each creak of the metal and each speck of dust telling a story of its own. The plane had been a silent witness to countless journeys, and now it was time for Jack to continue his own. He took one last look around the plane. The memories of the day flooded his mind. He could almost hear the echoes of the past, the laughter, the conversations, the dreams that once filled the cabin. It was as if the plane was alive, holding on to the fragments of its history. He felt a strange connection to the pilot, even though they had never met. It was a bond that transcended time and space. Jack wondered what kind of person the pilot was. Was he a dreamer, a wanderer, someone who sought adventure in the skies? Or was he running away from something, seeking solace in the clouds? He wondered about the pilot's life, his dreams, his fears. What drove him to take to the skies? Did he have a family waiting for him, or was the plane his only companion? The questions lingered in Jack's mind, each one more poignant than the last. He could almost see the pilot's face, etched with determination and a hint of melancholy. He closed the plane door carefully, leaving everything as he found it. It was a gesture of respect, a way to honor the memories that the plane held. As the door clicked shut, it felt like the end of a chapter, but also the beginning of a new one. Jack knew that this experience would stay with him forever. He would never forget this day. The sun continued to set, casting long shadows on the ground. Jack walked away with a nostalgic look, his heart heavy yet full. The old airplane had given him more than just a glimpse into the past, it had given him a new perspective on life. As he walked into the horizon, he knew that the lingering questions would always be a part of him, guiding him on his journey. Section 9. An Unforgettable Encounter. As he walked away, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that he was leaving a part of himself behind. The forest was eerily quiet, the only sound being the crunch of leaves under his boots. The plane, now a relic of a bygone era, seemed to blend seamlessly with the surrounding wilderness. Jack had stumbled upon it by chance, a hidden gem in the dense forest. The discovery had filled him with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Who had flown this plane? What had happened to them? These questions swirled in his mind as he took one last look at the wreckage. The abandoned plane, a silent sentinel of the sky, had whispered a tale of adventure and mystery. Its rusted fuselage and tattered wings told a story of a journey that had ended abruptly. Jack could almost hear the echoes of the past, the hum of the engine, the chatter of the pilot. It was as if the plane was alive, holding on to its secrets, waiting for someone to uncover them. The forest had claimed it, but it had not been forgotten. Jack felt a connection to the plane, a bond that transcended time and space. He didn't know if he'd ever learn the pilot's fate, but he knew one thing for sure: he would carry the story of the lost plane and its secrets with him. The plane had become a part of him, a symbol of the unknown and the unexplored. Jack knew that he would return to this place, drawn by the mystery and the allure of the forgotten aircraft. The forest had many secrets, and this plane was just one of them. Jack felt a sense of responsibility, a duty to remember and honor the story of the plane and its pilot, a reminder of the enduring power of discovery and the unknown. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the forest. The plane's silhouette stood out against the vibrant colors of the sky, a stark reminder of its presence. Jack took a deep breath, feeling a sense of peace and closure. He knew that this encounter would stay with him forever, a testament to the power of discovery and the mysteries that lie hidden in the world. As he walked away, he felt a renewed sense of purpose, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead.